what's up, everybody? It's Louie back again. I'm here to break down UFC 263. Last weekend, I did fucking terrible. Really don't want to talk about it. I talked about it on my Snapchat. Terrible performance by me. Shitty card all around. Some bad decisions. It is what it is. All we can do is just do my research for this week. I'm going to do better this week. We got a hell of a card. We got Nate Diaz taking on Leon Edwards in a 5-round third main event, and then you got Figueiredo Moreno rematch, and you got Adesanya and Vettori rematch for 2 titles, 125 and 185. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to do 7 fights. Even the prelims are going to be awesome. So let's get into this and let's win some money. Let's make up for last week. The prelim co-main event, 185 pounds, being fought at 205 pounds though, which is worth noting. Got Eric Anders taking on Darren Stewart. It's a rematch of about a month ago when they first fought. And right off the bat, 205 pounds, I believe Darren Stewart requested that. I don't like that because Eric Anders used to fight at light heavyweight, so that only favors him. I did my breakdowns for that fight previously. I'm not going to do their past 2 fights because we got to see some good action from that fight, and it's enough to get what I need out of it. So I'm going to just recap the last fight here. I only went 1 round. Darren was throwing hard 1-2. He threw a flurry, and he backs up Anders, and then Anders clinches him to the fence. He separates and lands multiple straight lefts, but then he gets double-legged against the fence. He gets Darren in the double-leg position up against the fence, and then he's able to get standing back control, and then he's able to drop him with a left cross in a firefight when they're both swinging wild. And then he swarms him from the back position with some heavy ground and pound, and then he lands some heavy shots in the firefight, and then he lands knees to the body, and it looks like he's going to TKO him, and then, he accidentally knees him when Darren Stewart's hand is touching the mat. He's standing, but his hand's on the mat, so that's a down opponent. Unfortunate situation. Darren Stewart had his moments, but it looks like Anders was taking over that fight. And you look at the betting line, Anders minus 150, Stewart plus 120. I originally picked Stewart, but after seeing that, and Anders basically was on his way to a victory there. I mean, I know both people can change, but that's not that much time. And Stewart got knocked out, or he took some heavy damage at least, and the betting line's not that bad. So my pick here is Eric Anders. And in the prelims, we got a fun fight, 155 pounds. Drew Dober taking on Brad Riddell. Drew Dober took on Islam Makhachev his last fight. Not really going to review that or count that because Makhachev's a monster. Drew Dober struggles with takedowns. His fight before that, took on Alexander Hernandez, which is more in line with competition like Brad Riddell. In that fight, he lands a 1-2. Whenever Alex moves forward, he gets taken down with a single from open space, but then he gets to his feet up against the fence. He fakes a double leg and lands a nice overhand left. He cuts Alex off against the fence and lands a 1-2. Then in the second round, he lands a overhand up against the fence, and he's able to stuff the takedown attempt. He lands a left to the body and then a right hook, and then drops him with a straight left. He chases him, cuts him off on the cage and lands a 1-2. However, he gets taken down. He gets back up to his feet. He lands a flurry up against the fence as Hernandez tries to circle out, but then he gets taken down again. Like I said, he struggled with takedowns, but he was able to concede them because he was going for the finish. He gets up again, and he lands 3 straight lefts, and the referee stops it, gets a TKO. Nice one for him. Alexander Hernandez is a tough prospect, or at least he was. And then Brad Riddell, his last fight, he took on Alex De Silva. The first round of that fight, he hit him with a jab, and then a hook, he gets hit with a jab and then a hook immediately, but then he comes forward with the hook to the body and then to the head. He gets backed up and then taken down with a double leg into half guard, but he gets to his feet, and then he has his back controlled, and he gets mat return, and he gets put in a guillotine off a bad single attempt from him to end the round. Then in the second round, he gets clinched up against the fence. He eats a head kick as he's stalking forward. He lands a jab and then a right hand from range as De Silva is stationary and wasn't moving for a second. He lands a few uppercuts, and then he backs up De Silva with a nice right hook. He catches a flying knee and gets the takedown against the fence, and then he's able to, back to the feet, he's able to stuff a double leg from open space. Then in the third round, he lands an overhand right as De Silva stalks forward. He lands a short right and a short elbow whenever De Silva comes forward. He's able to use a whizzer off of De Silva's shot to reverse the takedown and get on top of him. He lands a left lead hook when they're back up on the feet, and then he lands a combination and flurry to the head and the body up against the fence, and then he lands a right cross from open space to end the fight. And I thought he looked good. He really poured on the end of the fight there. Both guys, I would say relatively evenly matched. If you look at the betting line, Drew Dober's minus 155, Brad Riddell is plus 125. I like Dober. I think that he has a little bit more power. I think he's going to be able to stalk forward. I think the Silva threatens takedowns a little bit, but I think Dober's going to be able to stay out of there. And then the betting line's minus 155. I like Dober. He ran into Makhachev his last fight. He got the finish against Hernandez. My pick here is Drew Dober. First fight to open up the main card. A fun banger, 205 pounds. You got Paul Craig taking on Jamal Hill. This is a good showcase for Jamal Hill or Paul Craig, both rising prospects. A win here is going to get him into the top 15 contention. Paul Craig, his last fight, he took on Mauricio Shogun Rua, the legend. This was a rematch. First round of that fight, he hits a switch stance head kick, and then he gets back up to the fence with a flurry from Shogun. He throws a jab, and then he's able to get the double leg takedown. He lands hammer fist as Shogun attempts a sweep with the single leg, but he pulls Shogun on top of him into an anaconda choke. But then they get back to the feet. He gets another double leg into back control, but he gets reversed in the half guard. He attempts a sweep, but he's unsuccessful for the rest of the round. In the second round, he gets pressed to the fence and hit with a left hook from Shogun, but he lands a jab as Shogun's moving forward, and then he lands a shot to the body and a few leg kicks. He gets pressed to the fence with a flurry, but he's able to get the double leg on Shogun as he moves forward. He gets back control, and however, Shogun's able to get to the feet. He presses him to the fence, and he gets back control again, and then he's able to technically submit him with strikes, back control, TKO, ground and pound, but technically verbal submission from strikes. And then Jamal Hill, his last fight, he took on Ovis St. Preux, the veteran. In the first round, he's able to stalk forward and lands front kicks and body shots. He slides forward and lands a nice 1-2. He punches the body as Ovis moves in. However, he gets hit with a body kick, but he counters with the body shot. He stalks forward and lands leg kicks, which is nice to see. He's always moving around and utilizing the leg kicks. In the second round, he steps in and then he lands a 1-2. Then he moves back. He gets hit with leg kicks moving forward. However, from Ovis, but it was a little bit of a problem. But he was a little wobbly from there. But he got it under control later in the fight. And then he's able to stalk forward and land two big overhand rights. He lands a flurry up against the fence and able to utilize the uppercut in there. And then he breaks the clinch and lands another flurry. He's able to utilize the tie clinch with knees. And then he's able to get the TKO victory from a flurry against the fence. And I think Jamal looked really good there. Take a look at the betting line. Jamal Hill minus 285. Paul Craig plus 225. Now I know this line's off, but it's pretty high. But I really like Jamal Hill here. I think Paul Craig. I think he's going to be able to stay out of the takedown threat of Paul Craig. I think he's going to be able to stay on the outside and pick him apart. Paul Craig's best path to victory is to get him down for a submission. I think it's going to be hard to get Jamal Hill down here. My pick here is Jamal Hill. On the main card, huge matchup, 170 pounds. Damian Maia taking on Bilal Muhammad. Bilal Muhammad wins. He's going to be shot up into the top contention. And if Maia wins, he still hangs on and he'll become even more of a legend. Maia, his last fight, he took on Gilbert Burns. First round of that fight, he bounces around and he comes forward with a double jab and then a straight. He gets the double leg whenever Gilbert comes forward to throw the punch. Burns uses a leg to scramble to the feet, but then he clinches to the fence and gets a double leg, and then he's able to get back control of two hooks and bring a choke position, but Burns is able to scramble out whenever Maia tries to go to full mount. Then they're on the feet, and Burns hits him with the big left hook and TKOs him on the ground out of nowhere, really, but Burns hits pretty hard. And then the fight before that, I know it's a while ago, but I want to see his full range of skills. He took on Ben Askren. First round of that fight, he's able to stuff the clinch attempt and land straight lefts. He's able to inside tie out of the clinch. He hits the right hand as Askren gets the clinch, but Maia's able to keep the underhook. And then he's able to clinch and land a straight left. He lands straight punches from open space, but he also gets hit with a straight right from the open. He lands a hard right hook as Askren attempts to clinch. He lands body kicks, but he gets taken down with a body lock, but he's able to scramble out to a single leg. And then in the second round, he gets hit with a counter uppercut as he's throwing straight left. However, he lands a left hand on the exit of the clinch. He gets hit and backed up with multiple jabs from the open, and then he gets taken down with a double leg, but he's able to reverse and he get the full guard, and then he's able to lands some nice ground and pound. And in the third round, he gets taken down with a body lock, eats some ground and pound, but he gets to his feet. He lands a jab as Askren stalks forward. And then he gets taken down with a single, but uses a heel hook to reverse. And then he gets the full mount, and then he's able to transition to the rear naked choke and get the submission victory. It was pretty impressive. I know it was a while ago. I know it's over Ben Askren, but still, you know, Maya still got it, I think. And then Bilal Muhammad, his last fight, he took on Leon Edwards. That one got stopped early, but I'm going to go over it real quick. In the first round, he rushes forward with wild hooks. He gets hit with the 1-2 from Leon. He gets body locked and pressed to the fence, but he's able to circle out. Leon rocks him with the head kick from open space, however. Not too bad, but you can definitely see him wobbled on his feet. Bilal clinches to the fence, but Edwards is able to circle out, and then Bilal lands a body kick. Bilal lands a jab, but then Leon returns with the 1-2, and then the eye poke happens, and it is what it is. He was getting pieced up, but I thought he hung in there. He looked okay. And then the fight before that, he took on Diego Lima. A quick note for this fight, Bilal was able to press forward to the fence, but then he gets hit with leg kick. He also gets his hits with low leg kicks throughout the fight, so that's something to watch out for. And in the first round, he's able to blitz to the fence, and then he attempts a single takedown, but he stalks forward and lands counter overhand right. He lands a body kick against the fence. He lands a body shot as Lima skirts along the fence, and then he lands a straight left against the fence. He gets leg kicked, but he returns with the jab and then an overhand right against Lima. He gets hit with the hard straight right while he's rushing in, but then he throws a flurry up against the fence. And then the second round, he presses him to the fence and lands a combination and a body kick. And then he lands a combination to the body, which is nice. He's using body work. He gets hit with a leg kick and a flurry, but he's able to press to the fence with the jab, and then he throws the right hook. And then in the third round, he's deep on a double leg against the fence. He's able to get standing back control for a moment, but however, he gets hit with body shots whenever he's coming in more aggressively, a little more wild. However, he hurts Lima with a double jab and then a right hand. And then he gets a double leg to the backpack position, and the fight, it was a pretty dominant performance from Bilal, but I didn't think he was close to knocking him out or anything like that. You want to take a look at the betting line. Bilal's minus 230, Maya's plus 180. And call me crazy, but I like Maya here for what the line is. I know he's old, but, you know, Bilal, he doesn't have any power. He's not going to knock him out. And, you know, Burns is pretty tough. He just fought for the title, and if you watch that fight, Maya had his back. It was relatively easy for Maya to take him down and get to the rear naked choke position. All Maya has to do is win the majority of 2 out of 3 rounds and get him down and control him. If you get somebody's back, they're not going to stand it up. I think he's able to do that against Bilal, and I don't think Bilal is going to knock him out or seriously hurt him. My pick here is Damian Maia. Feature bout, third fight on the main card, People's Main Event. You got another banger at welterweight, 170 pounds. You got Leon Edwards taking on Nate Diaz, making his long-awaited return. Leon Edwards, real quick, he took on Bilal Muhammad last. Just real quick about that fight, Bilal rushed forward with raw right hooks, but Leon's able to hit him with the 1-2. He gets the body lock and press him to the fence, and then Leon rocks him with a head kick from the open, and then Bilal clinches to the fence, but Edwards able to get out. Bilal lands a body kick, and then Bilal lands a jab, but Leon returns with 1-2, and then the eye poke happens, and, you know, Leon rocked him in the first round, and I thought it was going to go his way. And then before that, he took on RDA. It was a while ago, but still worth noting. First round of that fight, he gets the body lock takedown into half guard as RDA moves forward. He lands a jab as RDA comes forward back on the feet. He gets hit with the body shot, but he returns with a lead elbow, and then 1-2. In the second round, he gets hit with the left hook, but returns a straight right. He's pressed back and then hit with the body shot. He goes for a single attempt but then he gets a clinch to the fence. He lands a combination, then a left lead elbow, which is a nice weapon he was using that whole fight. I hope he brings it back. He gets kicked in the calf and goes for Eminari, but RDA is able to get to half guard. They get back to the feet, and then he's able to land straight punches. In the third round, he stuffs a single. He counters with the uppercut and a right hook. He engages in the clinch and lands a left elbow on the break. That's one of his tricks he likes to do, and I think he's going to be able to cut Diaz. He stuffs a double attempt in. He gets a standing back control on RDA, and then a clinch on the fence. He lands an uppercut as RDA goes to throw a combo. In the fourth round, he gets pressed to the fence and hit with a body kick, but he's able to keep on pumping his jab. He gets hit with the body shot up against the fence. He gets hit with the right hand to the body and into the head, but then he gets a takedown off a flying knee attempt from RDA, and then he gets in a half guard and does some nice work on the ground there, enough to stay busy and some moderate damage. In the fifth round, he lands a 1-2 as he's moving backwards. He gets the clinch as RDA moves forward. and then he's able to get the standing back control. He's able to land elbows over the top of RDA straight right, and he looked really good that fight. I thought he won every round. And then Diaz, his last fight was against Masvidal. This was a while ago, but that's his last action. In the first round, he stalks forward and he engages in the clinch, but he gets reversed against the fence and he gets blasted with the elbows. He gets dropped with a head kick and needs some hard ground and pound from Masvidal. Masvidal just able to stand over top of him and throw punches at him. He lands a big counter right, but he gets clenched to the fence. He lands a right hook to the body and then a straight left against the fence. In the second round, he comes forward and lands overhand right. He eats a jab and a right hand as he's pressuring forward. He eats a right hook moving in. He gets wobbled from the punch, and then he gets dropped with a body kick. He didn't get like drop, but he goes down. That's kind of what he does, and it doesn't look good to the judges either way. So basically got dropped. But then he's able to clinch up to the fence, but he gets reversed against the fence, and he eats a combo to the head and to the body. He eats a right cross and knees to the body, and then a flurry on the fence. He's getting dominated basically. He gets taken down into back control, and then in the third round, he's able to flurry against the fence, but he doesn't really land too much, and he eats a big straight right from the open space. He lands a 1-2-3 combination as Masvidal moves in, and then he lands a right hand in a firefight, but he gets hit more than Masvidal does. And then he gets hit with a body kick and a right cross, and then he gets taken down with a body lock, eats ground and pound, some heavy ground and pound. The fight was stalled by a cut. Call it what you will, but he got dominated the whole fight. And yeah, he was coming on a little fresher in those later two rounds. You could see he was going to come on the second 2 rounds, but didn't really matter. Betting line, Diaz plus 430. Leon Edwards minus 625. Completely ridiculous line here. But, I'm going to go with Leon Edwards here. It's just a no-brainer for me. Yeah, Diaz could win, but come on, I really don't think so. A line I like here, though, is over 4.5, minus 118. Unless the only thing you got to worry about is the cut, but Leon Edwards isn't a finisher, Nate Diaz really isn't a finisher. I think that's a good line there, but my straight-up pick is Leon Edwards. Main event, the fourth fight on the main card. You could also call this one the People's Main Event if you wanted to. That's how great this card is. You got the long-anticipated rematch, 125 pounds flyweight, Deiveson Figueiredo taking on Brandon Moreno. I'm just going to recap the last fight because it was that close, and I think that's all that really matters. Quick note, Figueiredo, I just made some notes that he's always coming forward and pressuring up against the fence. He was basically the bully. Despite what you hear, Moreno didn't really hurt him too bad, and Figgy didn't really hurt him too bad. So the last fight, I'm going to break it down. In the first round, Figgy's able to land straight shots, and then he clinches to the fence. However, he gets reversed, and Moreno, Matt returns, but scrambles out. Figgy lands a body shot, and then lands a jab pressuring to the fence. Figgy stalks forward, lands a combination, then Moreno's able to circle out. Moreno lands a jab as Figgy presses forward. And then he's able to land a head kick, but then Figgy lands a head kick with the overhand right and presses him to the fence. In the second round, Figgy presses and lands some leg kicks. Moreno lands a left hook to the body on Figgy, and then Figgy lands a straight right and then a flurry. Moreno is able to get the body lock takedown as Figgy throws elbows, and then they landed full guard. Figgy landed a lead left hook from open space. That was nice. Moreno lands a short right as Figgy moves forward. Figgy landed counter uppercuts and then a flurry off of Moreno's right hand. Moreno gets the body lock takedown. They're back on the feet, and Moreno lands a counter 1-2. And then in the third round, Figgy lands overhand right, presses to fence, and lands a nice body shot. Moreno blitzes off of Figgy's jab, and then lands an uppercut combination. And then Figgy gets a high single from open, but Moreno's able to scramble out of the position. Moreno lands an overhand right as Figgy stalks forward. In the third round, whenever Figgy had the illegal kick to the groin, and they took a point away, which I don't like. And then if you look at the decision, if that wouldn't have happened, I think Figgy would have won this round. I think he would have won the fight. That's why I'm not really digging too much deep into the other fights. And then in the fourth round, Moreno's able to land a combination as Figgy stalks. Figgy lands an overhand, and he's in on a high single, but Moreno reverses, and then he's able to get the takedown himself. Figgy lands uppercut when they're back to the feet after Moreno throws a hook. Moreno lands a combo whenever Figgy misses with the elbow, and then they firefight, and Figgy's pushed back against the fence. Moreno lands multiple jabs as Figgy stalks forward. Moreno's able to stay around in open space and pick him apart. And Figgy lands a right cross and then blitzes toward the fence. hits him in the head and the body. But Moreno is able to get the body lock takedown. And then in the 5th round, they basically both kind of take off, in my opinion. That kind of sucks, but not really too much happened. But some notes, Figgy's able to stay on the outside, and he waits to counter this round. And then he's waiting for Moreno to move. They're both exhausted, and Figgy's kind of trying to jab and pick Moreno apart if he can. And then Moreno's he's against the fence, and then Figgy gets the overhook trip in the last 10 seconds, gets on top and does some ground and pound, but it didn't really matter. I guess Figgy won that last round, but, And, like I said, I really think Figueiredo should have won that last fight. It was close, but also you got to look into it a little more. Figgy's quick turnaround, less than a month. He cuts a lot of weight, and I think he thought he was going to be able to get Moreno out of there, and he threw everything he had at him. And he realized he wasn't going to be able to get him out of there. Now he goes into this fight knowing he's not going to be able to get him out of there that early. So, I think that'll help him. Moreno's plus 175. Figueiredo's minus 225. That's a decent price for a guy that should have won. And being as dominant as he's been, I think that's a decent price. My pick here is Davison Figueiredo. Last, we come to the main event. The rematch, 185 pounds, that nobody really asked for. Israel Adesanya taking on Marvin Vettori. Number 2, it is what it is. It's a decent fight, I guess. I'm going to look at Adesanya and Vettori's last fight, and then I'm going to break down their previous fight. It was a couple years ago, so I know things have changed, but I still think it's worth noting because the biggest story heading into this fight is a takedown. Can Vettori take him down? Well, we're going to look at Adesanya versus Blachowicz. First round of that fight, Izzy's able to stalk forward and throws a head kick, and he comes forward with a jab. He comes forward and throws a right hook, and then he backs out. And second round, Izzy's able to pump the jab at Jan, returns a straight right. Izzy comes forward and lands some leg kicks, which is nice. You always see him crowding with the leg kicks. And then he throws a jab, and then he gets hit with a flurry, and then a combination to the fence. He pumps a jab and then slides back. He gets body locked and thrown down, entering to strike, but he gets up to his feet. He's able to stay up. He eats a straight right blitz. He eats a 1-2 blitz, and then a lead left hook counter, but then he gets blitzed to the fence and taken down for a second, but he's able to pop that back up. And then he lands a hard jab. When he gets back to his feet, he presses Jan to the fence with jabs. He's able to flurry to the fence, but he gets clinched up against the fence again. He gets hit with a jab from the open, but he returns a 1-2 of his own. He eats a jab as he's stalking forward, and then a counter left hook. And then the third round, he lands a 1-2 as Jan's moving forward. He eats a straight left as Jan blitzes forward. And then he lands a flurry of hooks, but gets double-legged from the open space into half guard. And that's where the takedown comes into play. You're not going to be able to take him down against the fence. If you are, he's going to pop back up. Jan was able to fake a punch and then just go get the double leg whenever it is he wasn't expecting it in open space. That's the key here. And then they get into half guard, and then, Jan does some damage, enough to knock it stood up, but not a ton to cause any significant damage. But Jan's also able to transition to side control there. Then the fifth round, they trade jabs from open space. He gets hit with the jabs moving forward. He moves forward and lands an overhand right. He gets taken down with the left hook to the double leg. So, that's all. Jan fakes the left hook and then gets a double leg takedown and just grinds it out. Gets those 2 rounds for sure. And then he won one of the first 3 rounds and got the victory. That's the key there. And then Vettori's last fight took on Kevin Holland, paying attention to the wrestling here. In the first round, he stalks forward, lands a straight right, and then he clinches to the fence. He gets another clinch and gets a body lock trip to full guard. But Holland's able to Granby out to the feet. In the second round, he blitzes forward, but Holland lands a counter 1-2 whenever Marvin exits from the punch. And then Marvin gets a double leg off the fence, and then he gets into full guard. But again, he's able to get Holland up against the fence, getting the double leg. That's not going to work against Izzy, in my opinion. In the third round, he blitzes forward and gets a double leg against the fence to full guard. He attempts the arm triangle, but he backs out, doesn't get it. But at least, he had the wherewithal to not blow his arms out. He made straight punches back on the feet, and then he gets a double off the fence, and then he gets back control. Holland lands a flurry as he's exiting the clinch. Fourth round, more of the same, but Holland lands head kick and then a flurry as Vettori pressures forward. But Vettori's able to jab and presses and gets another double leg against the fence. Same stuff in the 5th round. And then we'll take a look at their last fight real quick. It was a while ago, but it's still worth noting. In the 1st round, Marvin presses forward with a flurry, but Adesanya is able to circle away. He lands a jab as he's moving backward. Adesanya slips, and then he's able to blitz, but he gets clinched. Adesanya slips Marvin Vettori's blitz. Marvin Vettori like to come forward a little wild in this fight and blitz forward, but he's able to clinch Izzy up against the fence at least. Marvin's attempts inside trip, but he's unsuccessful with that. Adesanya is able to throw his hips in. Nice defense. Adesanya is able to stick a move with the jab. Marvin's extended with the straight right. And he's able to feint and makes Marvin swing wild with the hooks. And then Adesanya starts pressing Marvin toward the fence. Marvin lands a body kick, but Adesanya is able to land a counter left. Adesanya lands a straight right after Marvin throws a kick. In the 2nd round, Marvin's able to shoot a blast double from space, but he's able to press Izzy to the fence, but Izzy able to circle out of it. Izzy stalks forward and lands a 1-2, and then is able to slide back. He slips the straight left, and then he lands a straight right. He moves forward and lands a right elbow. Marvin's able to shoot from a high single from space, but Izzy's able to throw his hips in and use his underhook and is able to stay on the feet from there. And in the 3rd round, this is when Vettori finally gets a takedown. Vettori throws feint jabs and shoots the single leg while Izzy has his hands up to block, and he's able to get a takedown from there because Vettori, he threw punches, and then Izzy throws hands up, and then his legs are wide open, so that's how he gets a takedown there. And then Vettori's able to take it into half guard. Izzy attempts, and then they're back on the feet, but Vettori's still locked around the body, and then I don't know why he does this. Izzy attempts his lateral drop, it doesn't work, and then Marvin's able to cover his hips and stay on top of him, and then he's able to get the body lock dump into full guard, and then they get back to the feet eventually. Izzy lands a jab and then backs out, so that's how it goes. Sorry it took so long, but yeah, I mean, Vettori, you watch that last fight, and it took Vettori the whole fight, 1 round to get him down, and he kind of barely won that round, and he didn't do too much damage on him, and there's 5 whole rounds, so I think Vettori's going to come out fast and furious, and if he can't get the takedown early, it's going to be, I think Izzy's going to be able to pick him apart early. Either that or Vettori will take him down early, but I don't think so because I think Izzy worked on his defense a lot, and I think he's going to be able to stay outside and pick him apart, and he knows it's coming too. And like I said, the only way Vettori takes him down is whenever you distract him and have his hands occupied and take him down from open space. Take a look at the betting line. Vettori's plus 215. Adesanya's minus 275. Yeah, I know it's a steep price, but I did some thinking, and originally I thought Vettori had a chance, but I don't think so. I think Izzy's going to be able to pick him apart over 5 rounds. He might get taken down once or twice, but even if he does give up a round, I don't think Vettori's going to be able to take him down every round, which is what he's going to need to do to beat him. So confidently, my pick here is Israel Adesanya. Everybody knows a little long. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Sorry my past couple losing streaks, last couple weeks, but I'm here and I did a lot of research. I did some deep diving into the fights. A lot of rematches here, so it could go either way, but I really appreciate it. Please leave some comments below. Let me know. I want to have some chats with some people. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. I'll put that below. And if you're not a huge fan, you like to bet, this is the fight right here to watch. This fight's going to be awesome. There's something for everybody. It might be a little longer of a card, but great action. You got brawlers, you got technicians, you got belts on the line. It's going to be awesome. So appreciate everybody's support, and let's go 7-0. Let's win some damn money, baby.